Hi everybody. My name is Frederick Harper. No relation with who you're thinking now, please. I'm a francophone from Montreal, but they asked me to do the presentation in English, so you're going to have to live with my lovely accent, but I'm pretty sure that, as for now, you already love my accent. So, as the presenter said, I'm a senior technical evangelist at Mozilla. I used to be a technical evangelist at Microsoft. I was the one before Rami, so I'm not going to do a technical presentation today. Of course, for those of you that have access to internet during my presentation, please tweet. I like people, when people tweet, use @fharper. And the only link you need to keep in mind for this presentation is outofcomfortzone.net. So this is my personal blog, sometimes in French, sometimes in English, most of the time in Franglish. But I'm going to put my presentation online. And I'm recording my presentation, so you're going to have also audio after if you want to remind some stuff that I talked about. So today, I'm there to talk about a topic that really passionates me. But the first warning that I want to let you know is that I'm not a personal branding guru. I'm not selling books. I'm not part of a sect. I'm just there to let you know that it's really, really important to think about personal branding. So, first question, is branding important? And I'm not talking about personal branding, I'm just talking about brand. Is branding something important? Raise your hand. Yes, no, kind of. Good. Do you recognize that brand? Let's see. Do you recognize this one? Harley Davidson. So without the names, without the real logo, only with circle, even if you're not a moto fan, you can recognize that brand. This one is a little bit harder. Maybe people that like photography? Nikon. So this is Nikon. There is no letters, there is no word, it's just the logo made with circle. So when we talk about personal branding, this is the same exact thing. Now you were able to recognize those brands. Just with the color, just with circle, just with some like kind of crazy logo. When we talk about personal branding, it's the exact same thing. What I'm thinking now about Microsoft in Montreal, I'm going to think about Rami. What I'm thinking about, if you're in the web industry and you're thinking about accessibility, you're going to think about Denis Boudreau in Montreal. So there's some names that, if you're in the industry or even in your industry, there are those people that are leaders that you associate with something specific like their brand, an expertise that they have, something that you know about it. So if you go to Wikipedia, you can check the definition of personal branding, and this is basically just to associate yourself with your characters or with really a brand. You as a brand. So this is really something simple, but at some point it's also complex also. So what is personal branding? It's really about you. It's about me, it's about you, it's about yourself. It's really about who you are, even if you are that guy. And you hate everybody, and you're really vulgar, and you're doing those kind of things. It's still part maybe of your brand. Remy was talking about startups earlier. So there's people in startups, some VC that we know quite well in Montreal, who is always swearing in all presentation he is doing. This guy is awesome. But this is part of his style. You may or may not like it, this is still part of his style. This is also who you want to be. It's not just about who you are now, it's really about who you want to be in the future. Maybe you want to be an astronaut. I never wanted to be an astronaut, so it's not my problem, but maybe you want to be one. And it's also how you want to be seen. So it's not just about you or who you are, it's about how people see you. Because in today's world, it's really about how people see you, how people think about you. It's also about what you know. What is your expertise? Do you have a dominant expertise? Do you have knowledge that others don't have? Or are you the best in your industry when we talk about something specific? And this is about what you're doing. What did you do? Frank ran a conference. This is awesome. We know that this guy can run conference. We know that this guy knows about this stuff. It's also about what you did. Because it's not just about, yeah, I'm going to do this, yeah, I'm planning to organize a conference, or I plan to run a user group. What did you do? You have some proof of what you know, of what you did. And it's also about your tribe. It's about the people you know. Today, networks is really important. You know, most of the time when we think about, oh, I want to get a new job, of course there is a part about your experience, there is a part about your expertise, but there's also a part about who you know, who introduced you to maybe the manager that is looking for the next developer, the next headhunter, who put your CV in the top of the pile so you can have that interview. So it's really about your network. It's about what you like and what you don't like. Is there some specific things that you're yelling about on the internet, on Twitter, that you really don't like that brand, or you really don't like that restaurant, or you really like open source software, or you really like what Microsoft is doing? Like, it's really about, it's part of you, and that's going to be part of your brand. So this is really about everything that's defined you. So basically, this is personal branding. So now we know a little more what is personal branding, but why should I care? At the end, okay, first maybe a question. Is personal branding important for you? Do you think it's important? Raise your hand. So I can end my presentation right now. I have nothing to teach you. I have nothing to tell you. So no, there's a couple of people that didn't raise their hands, so this is good. I still have a presentation to do. So personally, this is my own opinion. I really think that it's important. Actually, I don't think it's important. I think it's critical. In today's world, personal branding is critical. And it's not just critical because I'm going to be a rock star, because I'm a technical evangelist and I'm doing conferences and presentation. It's really critical for everybody. And it's not just about like being that rock star or being that TV show personality. It's important for everyone. Headhunters, web developers, waitress at the restaurant. This is also important for everybody. Why? Because you're not indispensable. And I don't like the picture. I should change this one because that says you're not important. I don't think, yeah, I just like feel like it's really not a good picture. I think that we're all important. You really need to find where you are important, but we are not indispensable. Don't think you are. If you're in a job, we can replace you. But you can make it really a bad thing for the company to replace you, because that's going to cost a lot of money to find someone like you. That's going to take a lot of time to replace you, because you may be that person, you may be that expert. So nobody is indispensable, but you can make it a little more work. It's also about new opportunities ahead. When we think about personal branding, if you have a brand, if you have a strong brand, that can open you many doors. And now what I'm saying today is that it's not just about, oh, if you're not into that personal branding, you cannot succeed in life. Not true. This is just one path that you can use to be successful, to achieve the goals that you put in your life, either it's on the professional or personal part of the life. Because, as I said, I'm not a guru, but I really like to say that everybody deserves to be successful. And maybe that means different things for you. Maybe it's about money for you. Maybe it's about like going that next opportunity at a company. Maybe it's to get that promotion. But you need to be successful. So I basically did a presentation in 45 minutes, and I only have 20 to 25 minutes. So I will not go too far in the personal story. But the only thing I can tell you, and you will have to believe me for that slide, pretty crazy picture, huh? So let me tell you that personal branding served me well. I went from that average web developer that was doing a good job, but not super good job, but not a bad job. I was just a good employee, not that much. And at some point I said, oh, I want to be an evangelist. Yes, some people decide that they want to be an evangelist. I was not going to work for a church, but I wanted to be an evangelist in the technical field. And I started to act like an evangelist without having the job. And it's why Microsoft approached me 3 years ago and said, hey, Fred, we're looking for someone in Montreal, and he seems to have like the profile that we're looking for. I said, hey, why not? This is my dream job. I want that job. And I continue to work on my personal branding. And now, for people that know me or that heard about me, it's really about, oh yeah, this is this French technical evangelist that used to work at Microsoft. Now he's at Mozilla, and he's always in jeans and t-shirt. Even in conferences where everybody is dressed, this guy has a t-shirt and jeans, and he's doing kind of cool presentation, I hope, most of the time. And like people started to create that kind of brand around myself. And it's that brand that gave me the possibility that when I decided that I wanted to leave Microsoft, and without any pretension, I had the choice to go where I wanted to go. Because when I did a blog post on my channel on social media about it, I got a lot of offers. Not because I was the best evangelist in the world, just because I had that strong brand that really helped me to choose my next career. And it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning for me, and I hope it's going to be the only beginning for you. So I hope that at that point you understand that it's important to think about personal branding. But how can we achieve this personally? I told you, it's not about being that rock star. It's not about being that like super TV show actress. It's really about yourself. What is your goal behind it? And that's going to be really the first part to defining your brand. Talking about brand, when we think about Apple, we have a specific idea. When we talk about, when I show you the logo of Pepsi or Harley Davidson, we associate some specific stuff to those brands. Usually, maybe that's going to change, but when we think about Apple, we think about quality, we think about we think about high value, we think about I'm a cool hipster because I have a MacBook Pro, so there's a MacBook Air, so there's all that cool things associated with the brand. And that's going to be the same thing for you. But first, you're going to have to define your goal. What is my goal in having a personal brand? Because having a personal brand, to have a personal brand, does not make sense for me. So you need to define why. Why I want to create that brand, my personal brand. Why I want to define what I'm going to be and what people's going to see when they're going to see me. So you need to start with who you are, who I am now. What did I do? What I want to do? What is next for me? You want to define who you want to be. And it's not about like trying to invent something or be someone else. But as I said, you can still be authentic and trying to figure out who you want to be in like 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. I told you, my home story was I'm a developer. I wanted to use my social skills and my passion to share stuff with people, to be an evangelist, because I like to do those conferences. I like to meet people. I like to network, and usually I'm doing technical presentations. So I want to take my technical skills and share this with people. So it was not to be to lie to myself. It was just to take part of me that I didn't use that much in the past and make it my living. So it was part of my brand to do this. But be authentic. And it's always the truth about everything you're going to do in life. It's not just about personal branding. If you lie to people, that's going to work for a certain time. After this, you're going to fall. And you're going to fall so hard. So don't do this. Stay authentic. You need to see also how you want people to define you. Because I told you, it's not really always about who you are really. It's more about how people see you. I told you, just before joining Microsoft, I was a freelancer. I was doing web development, mobile development, I was creating software. And I had people on Twitter that was giving me some contacts to their customers. And they were all like, oh, work with Freddy, he's a really good developer. And nobody that told the customers that I was a great developer had worked with me in the past. Nobody known if I was really a good developer or just a shitty one. But because people was like, oh, Fred seems to be professional, he seems to be a good developer. You have to work with it. You have to work with him. So it was part of how people defines me. And you need to think about this when you're going to think about your personal branding. I have nothing to add to this. Just do a big shit. Do great stuff. Do what you love. If part of your goal to be a brand is to do conferences or to be known or to be that star or to make money, but you're not making something you like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's it. Make it hard. An art. Don't be average. Like, make it, take what you do, take what you love, take your passion, and take it to the next step. Make it an art. For those of you that know Seth Godin, he's talking all the time about giving your heart to people, and not your heart, maybe read the word, giving your heart to people. And it's really, you need to make it hard. That's going to be part of your brand, and that's going to help you to really be successful with your brand. Make your own rules. I'm not about anarchy or I'm not an anarchist, but I think that I cannot take no for an answer. Sorry, that's not going to work. And I'm going to ask for things in life. At some point, I realized in my life that if I'm not asking about something and I'm just waiting in my office that someone offer me what I want to do or what I would like to have, there's a lot of chance that the answer is going to be no. If I go and I ask for something, if I go and I make my own rules at some point, I have other chance that people tell me no. But I have a lot more chance that I'm going to have what I want to have, or that I'm going to do what I want to do. So part of that thing is to create your brand, really try to make your own rules. And there's a secret ingredient, or you're not going to like it. And no, it's not that part. It's just a crazy image. You need to get visibility. Because you can be the best person in the world, the best headhunter in the world. If people don't know about it, there is no point. You need to get some visibility. But I'm not talking about tweeting all the time about what you do and always promoting what you do. But there's a right balance. One of the advice that I always give to everybody, whether you want to do personal branding or not, start a blog. Start a blog. There is many ways to have free blogs online. Even if you don't have those writing skills. I was so bad. I was so bad when I started to blog. All my blog posts was shitty blog posts. And I still have a lot of shitty blog posts. But I'm way better now than I was before. Why? Because I practice. So start a blog, it's free, it's a good way to get visibility. It's a good way also to help with social media, be on social media. Yeah, I don't like to know what people eat in the morning on Twitter. Of course, some people talk about their foods, but there's not just there. I told you, when I was a freelancer, I got some contracts, some customers from Twitter. I got some new jobs by Twitter, by Facebook, by people saw that I was there, people saw that I was active, and that helped me really to create my network. And I really like the first presentation that Frank did, because I guess that we talked before and I just don't remember, but if you're not on Google, sorry, you does not exist. In 2012, you does not exist. So most of you are dead today. Because you need to have that physical presence, but you also need to have that virtual presence. And you can do this easily. There's expert like Frank that's going to help you. But if you start a blog, if you are on Twitter, if you are on Facebook, if you create a LinkedIn page, that's going to help you. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, sorry. But that's going to help you to have that presence at least on the internet. Speak at conferences. Oh my God, being in front of people, that is crazy. I cannot do this. Yes, you can. That's it. You can. And start with easy stuff. There is a lot of conferences or user groups that give you shorter talk. There are some user groups that do those speaker idols evening. So you have 15 minutes in front of a little crowd, a small crowd, and you're going to have experts that are going to give you advice about your speaking skills. That's going to be a good start. That's going to help you to get visibility. That's going to help you to create your network, to grow your network, and to get new opportunities after this. Create stuff. Write a free ebook online. Create a user group. Create a conference. There's plenty of things you can create, and that's going to help you to do everything you want around your branding. Network. People are so important. Network online. Network offline. Go to these happy hours. Go to these conferences. Go to these user groups. Meet people. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be that business card ninja. But at least talk to people, meet with people, and make things happen. So I only have 1 or 2 minutes to finish. I'm going to be good? So at the end, you're probably that expert. I hope not that one, but you're probably an expert that have some skills, that have some knowledge. Leave your mark on everything you do. Don't be that average person. Be awesome in the meeting with your manager. Be amazing with your customers. Be spectacular when you're doing that blog post. Do that really good tweets that you wanted to do for a while, but that you were afraid that you're going to disturb some people. Put that slide with that guy that are saying this to the audience. Make it happen, but leave your mark on everything you're doing. And now is too late. Now is too late. I don't know if it's good grammar syntax, but my point is there. Now is too late. You know, when people tell you that, oh, you're looking for a new job, maybe at the time you're looking for a new job, it may not be the good time to start to write your CV or create your LinkedIn profile and trying to create your network online. Same thing with personal branding. Start now. Start yesterday to work about your brand, to create your brand, to make it happen. Because you never know when that's going to be really useful in your life, so you need to start to work on it right now. I'm going to leave you with 3 resources. I'm not really about personal branding books. That seems funny for a guy that is doing a personal branding presentation. But I really like everything else that's going to help you to create that brand. There is a good book that Chris Brogan and Julian Smith made. Julian Smith, a guy from Montreal. It's called Trust Agent. So it's really about being that online agent, that online trust agent, that influencer that people trust. That person that's going to be able to put in relation those people. This is one thing, this is one of my pleasure. I really like when people comes to see me and say, hey Fred, do you know someone in X? Do you know someone in Y? Of course I know, I will put you in contact. I did this with some people in the room, and this is really my pleasure to put those people in contact. So be that trust agent, really great book. Seth Godin, one of the 10,000 books that Seth wrote, Linchpin. It's really about, are you indispensable? And are you that, what Seth called that linchpin? Become indispensable. And that book is really, really, really interesting. The last one is a free one you can get on Amazon, and if I'm not wrong, again, I am a big fan of Julian, what Julian did. This is called The Flinch. This is a free ebook, 100 pages, I think, and it's really about getting out of your comfort zone. And if you saw, this is a URL of my blog, I'm really a believer that nothing happens if you stay in your comfort zone. Go out of your comfort zone, and The Flinch is really the book to make you realize about it. So this is the link of all the images I use in the presentation. So last but not least, I'm going to be there mostly all day. If you have any question, comment, insult, please let me know. This is my personal email. Send me an email, whatever you want. Sometimes I'm taking too much time to answer, so feel free to ping me again if that's happening, because I'm traveling a lot. Twitter, Facebook. If we know each other, Facebook, I don't know why this is the only thing that I'm
Fred,
doing on Facebook, and LinkedIn.
We have 5 minutes for questions. Mr. there. Yep.